Good evening, candidates, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Diane Isaacs, and I am the second vice president of the Women's Club of Ocoee. On behalf of the Women's Club, I would like to welcome you to the 2024 Political Forum, sponsored by the Women's Club of Ocoee, Incorporated. Tonight, we'll be hearing from candidates for District 4 Commissioner. Helping with tonight's event from the Women's Club are Chair Kathy Seals, Moderator Gail Daniels. Trish Forges and Justina Black will ask the questions of the candidates. Other club members assisting in various capacities will be asked to come out at the end of the event. The Women's Club has held political forums for several decades in order to provide the citizens of the community with an opportunity to hear the views of the political candidates that are running for the elected office. We, as an organization and as individual members, provide this forum with an unbiased view. The forum will be televised on Spectrum, Channel 493, at which time questions from residents may be called in during the broadcast at 407-554-7118. Also, questions may be emailed to citizens@ocoee.org. If you are emailing questions, you may submit as many as you like, but only one question per email, please. The forum will live stream. Go to the city website, www.ocoee.org. Go to Quick Links, select Live Stream. This contact information will be shown across the screen several times during tonight's presentation. I now turn the forum over to Gail Daniels.
Good evening, and thank you for attending tonight's political forum. For the audience, the format for the political forum is as follows. Citizens may also present questions via email or by telephone. All questions will be given to the review panel prior to being delivered to the questionnaires. This is done to avoid any repetition, statements, or questions of a personal nature, and to present the widest variety of subject issues. The civility code will be strictly adhered to. Due to the time constraints, we are requesting applause be held until closing remarks. Please, no vocalized comments or opinions during the forum. Time constraints may prevent all questions from being presented. If you have any questions or concerns that are not addressed in the forum, please contact the candidates personally at another time. We have runners stationed in the chamber. Please raise your hand if you need a question form or have one completed. Our runners will retrieve or deliver forms as needed. I will now introduce the candidates and then go over the format of the forum. Running for District 4, Nate Robertson and George Oliver III. Candidates, when we begin, you will be allowed 3-minute presentation according to the following format: introduction of yourself, educational background, present or former occupation, number of years you've lived in Ocoee, your political platform to include ideas for the future of Ocoee, and plans to accomplish them. When questions are presented, the candidates will have 2 minutes to answer each question directed to them. Again, we have strict time constraints in order to allow as many questions possible during the forum. If a question has been presented and answered, you will not be permitted to revisit that question within the context of another. You may readdress or add to your closing statement. At the conclusion of the question portion of the forum, each candidate will have 3 minutes for a final statement. We will now begin with opening statements by the candidates. We will start with Nate Robertson, George Oliver III. Thank you, candidates. We will now begin the portion of the forum.
Thank you so much. Thanks to the Women's Club, and thank you to everyone who is here assisting tonight. Thank you again to the City of Ocoee for allowing us to be here in this beautiful building. I am Nate Robertson, and truly I am your neighbor next door. Let me tell you a little bit more about myself and my family. My wife, Kristen, and I, sitting here on the front row, met just over 19 years ago. We've been married for over 16 years. We have 2 boys, Rylan, who's 15, and Reese, who's 3. Yes, you got that right. It's about an 11-year age gap. It's pretty wild. Not exactly what we expected, but we're so blessed to have both of them. I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York, along with my two younger brothers. My mom and dad had moved to New York from Alabama in 1980, before I was born in 82. Yes, I am actually 41, to plant a church. My dad has been a Baptist minister for over 50 years. I have a deep Christian faith and am a licensed minister myself. We are members of Kingdom Culture Church, where we serve in the kids ministry. Kristen and I moved to Florida in 2016 and to Ocoee in early 2020 because we believed, and we still believe, that Ocoee is a great place to live and raise a family. My family has a long heritage of service. Both of my grandfathers were in the U.S. Army. My mom's dad, James Ed Bell, jumped on the beaches of Normandy on D-Day and was involved in every battle offensive until the end of the war. Though I didn't serve in the military, I have great respect for all who have and for our servicemen and women. It is my desire to be a fresh new voice on the City Commission to represent all of the residents well. Those who voted for me, of course, but even more so, those who don't. Most of you in District 4 have already heard from me personally during the last 14 months, either from a happy birthday voicemail, a visit to your door, a phone call, a text message, or a conversation while I've been out and about. All total, I have spent countless hours in the district going door to door because it matters to me that you know that I will put the work in for you. We have 12 days left after today, and I will be in every neighborhood once more. I want to make sure that all residents of District 4 feel heard and responded to regarding the issues that matter to them. I will represent every resident and follow up on their concerns. I won't be able to fix everything, but I will at least acknowledge it, follow up, and respond back to the residents. For my entire adult life, I have worked in various roles in Christian nonprofits, swimming pool sales and service companies, churches, and a medical distribution and support company. I've led teams of 20 to 60, while always focusing on satisfying the customer's needs by utilizing expertise in process improvement, execution, and strategic planning. In every role I have had, it has been my desire to look at the big picture and the details and see how we can improve the process and effectiveness of whatever product or service we are providing. My past experience has given me wide expertise and prepares me to represent the residents of District 4 as commissioner. Once again, I'm Nate Robertson. I'm your candidate for commissioner, and I am your neighbor next door. Thank you.
And we will now start with George Oliver III.
Thank you all for joining us tonight for the City of Ocoee's candidate forum. My name is George Oliver III, and I am the former District 4 City Commissioner. I'm here tonight to discuss why I should be reelected. I want to start by acknowledging the dedication of my friends, my family, and my many supporters. I would also like to thank the Ocoee Women's Club for hosting this forum. I have been married to my wife, Deborah, for 32 years. We have 5 boys and 6 grandchildren. I am a Navy veteran. After serving my country, I worked in corporate America for over 25 years. I am currently employed with the United States Treasury Department. I have 4 college degrees, 2 associate's degrees, a bachelor's degree, and I have a master's degree in business management. And finally, and therefore, I believe that I am the most qualified candidate for this job. As a District 4 Commissioner, I worked tirelessly during 2 election terms of office to make our city a better place to live, work, and raise a family. I have a proven track record of leadership and results. I am committed to building a brighter future for our community. My vision for the district of the city is included in my 40-year plan. It can be read on my website. That's George Oliver, voteforgeorgeoliver.com. One of my top priorities will be to continue to support infrastructure growth. Our roads are in dire need of upgrades. There's still a need to conduct a true operational audit to see how healthy our city is financially, especially with the onboarding of a new city manager. Next, we need to have a written vision and a mission in place to show us how to improve our city. Too many of our residents are struggling to find a place to call home, and we need to take action to ensure that everyone has access to safe and affordable housing. I believe that we need to continue to invest in our police and our fire departments to ensure that our residents are safe. This includes increasing funding for training and equipment, as well as implementing community-based policing programs that build trust and cooperation between law enforcement and our community. I am also committed to promoting economic development in our city. I will continue to work to attract new businesses and to support our existing small businesses with grants and other incentives. I believe that I am the best candidate because I have the experience, the leadership, and I'm committed to build a brighter future for our community. I'm here to listen to your concerns, to work hard on your behalf. So vote George Oliver. Let your voice be your vote. Vote George Oliver III for the City of Ocoee District 4 Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate. Thank you, candidates. We will now begin the question and answer portion of the forum. I will turn the meeting over to our questionnaires, Trish Forge and Justina Black.
Good evening, gentlemen. I have a question for both of you. Ocoee's vision as the center of good living is about family. Can you speak specifically about policies you have to help families and children of Ocoee? Mr. Robinson?
That's great. Thank you for the question. You know, families are so critically important to strong communities. You know, family is what really makes strong communities. And we must be making sure that we're focusing on our families. And what does that entail? How do we continue to do that even better? You know, when we talk about District 4 and the needs of District 4, District 4 is very densely populated with residential communities, which include many of our families. And I think that one of the things that I would like to see us continue to be working on, which Ocoee has been doing, is working on park development even more, to make sure that our children have more opportunities for that great outdoor play that we want to make sure that they're having. I think also we need to make sure that we are continuing to focus on how are we working with our county-city partnerships regarding schools? How are we making sure that the Orange County School Board is continuing to make sure that our area is being well serviced so that the children can continue to get the needs they need as students? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Oliver. Do you need me to repeat that?
No, I think I got
Okay.
it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks for the question again. One of the things that I have constantly worked on is how we bring our communities together. And one of the things that I would say that the city is doing very well is through our parks and recs. We have lots of events that goes on through our city, and I think that brings folks together. One of the things I would like to see is I'd like to see more community-based events where we have community block parties. I think that brings families together. When we are able to have these block parties, you get to know your neighbors. I host a block party almost every year or so for my communities, and we have the communities come together, and folks get to meet each other that have not met each other before, and that brings us closer together as a community. If we take that same model and to kind of spread out to other communities, I believe that these communities can come closer together, and then when we come together as a community at large, at some of the events that the city's already planned, I believe that we'll get to meet one another, and we're able to just embrace one another as neighbors, as one Ocoee. Again, I've created the mantra of one Ocoee, so I think that falls right in line with how we actually bring our families in the city together. So I think events is important. As my opponent mentioned, schools is certainly important because we're in dire need of a K through 12, or actually a K-8 through 12 middle school, which we've already had the land for. And it does really speaks to bringing our families together, and it speaks to overcrowding of schools. And I think the children also have the ability to, again, as I said, learn better when they're not so crowded and we have less kids in the classroom. So I think it all ties into the family. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question is for both candidates. With the tough economy and rising inflation, will you be in support of tightening the budget and decreasing property taxes for the homeowners?
Who would you like to go first?
You can go first,
Okay.
Mr. Robinson.
Well, thank you so much for the question. Property taxes in Ocoee are a very important part of our city, right? I mean, that is where a lot of the budget comes from, and it's really important that we continue to work on ways to reduce the residential property taxes. But the way that we must address that is making sure that we are increasing our non-res tax base. Our non-res tax base is comprised of our commercial and in our manufacturing, our industrial type jobs. We've got to continue to be attracting good business growth that brings with it higher wage paying jobs that help to increase that non-res tax base. It's really critical that we do that. If you look at some of our neighbors, there's much to talk about sometimes around Ocoee about Winter Garden. And our neighbor Winter Garden has done that with a large non-res tax base, which has helped them to be able to continue to bring property taxes lower. That is critical for the City of Ocoee. We must continue to do that. And the way that we do that is by attracting high specialty manufacturing as well as commercial. One of those ideas that I would like to see us continue to work on is we kind of are now in more of this medical hub almost here in West Orange County. And the opportunity to bring in specialized medical manufacturing jobs would be very attractive to Ocoee so that we can help to increase that non-res tax base and help us to reduce our property taxes. We do need to work on making sure that property taxes continue to go down here in the City of Ocoee. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Well, I agree in part. And the part that I agree with is the non-res tax base. However, I think that one of the things that we're missing, and we've been missing it for a while, is the fact that we don't have a plan. We talked about Winter Garden. We actually don't have a foundation of a plan. And that includes, I mentioned a mission and a vision for our city. We have to start somewhere. I mean, we could talk about taxes, we can talk about lower millage rates, we can talk about all these things that we want to do, but if we don't have a plan to do it, if we don't have a foundation of strategic goals, strategic planning, and how to execute those goals, those planning, then all this is for naught. Those conversations are just nice conversations to have. So I truly believe that if we start with a foundation, the City of Winter Garden started their foundation in 1991. They came up with strategic goals and strategic planning, and now we're looking at the fruits of their labor. Some of those folks are not here, but again, we're enjoying the fruits of their labor. We have to start somewhere in this city. We have to lay down a strategic plan, a goal, a mission, and a vision. I've never heard of any organization that did not have a mission or a vision. That is going to drive how we control our taxes. It's going to drive our millage rates down. Those are the things we have to do. Also, we have a bustling warehouse district as well. We can use those impact fees to help lower our millage rates. But again, without a plan, without a foundation, without a mission, without a vision, those conversations are really just great conversations to have. Thank you.
Okay, we also, the next question is for both of you as well. Mr. Oliver, I will ask you first. What have you been doing during the campaign to be prepared on April 2nd to immediately represent the residents of District 4 well?
I think that's a great question, and it's also a fair question. Some of the things that I've actually done is I watch all the commission meetings. I see everything that goes on. Just because I'm not here, that doesn't mean I'm not in tune with the commission and what's going on to commission meetings. But more so, I'm more in tune with my residents. I'm more in tune with the commission, with the community. Because again, even when I was elected official, every month on a Sunday, I would go out to one community, I would pass out a business card. I wasn't running for office, but I just wanted to talk to the resident. That is called putting your finger on the pulse of the residents and what they're doing, what they want, and what they need in the city. So me, as I've been campaigning, one of the things I've been doing is kind of showing up with the resident to let them know that from day one, I would come back and pick up right where I left off. I've been away from the dais for over a year now. So I can pick right back where I left off. There's projects and plans that have been approved and have never started yet. So as their city commissioner, I want to know, what do we do with the money that was allocated and why hadn't the project started? So I want to ask the tough questions. I want to be able to say, okay, well, we got this project started, but there's like several other projects that we never engaged in. And I can't see anything going on with them. So as the city commissioner, coming right back into where I started, I'm able to engage not only the commission, but also bring it back to the community and say, hey, this is what's going on with the city, and this is what we need to do to continue to move, like our sidewalk programs, that I have not seen many sidewalks being repaired as of late, not in District 4. But those are the questions that I want to ask, and I want to make sure that we engage the commission, the staff, right back where we left off, and hold them accountable to making sure that this money is spent properly and it's spent on the projects that they're supposed to be spent on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's really such an important question, right? How do we make sure that we are prepared for April 2nd? I fully expect to be your next commissioner for District 4, and I've been working very hard for the last year to make sure that I'm prepared for that. I've been at least, I would say, 70% of the commission meetings. I've been here in the room, making sure that I'm listening and learning and understanding how the commission operates. I've had several meetings with city staff to make sure that I'm understanding projects that are currently underway as well as projects that are coming in the future. I've been to planning and zoning meetings as well as to one of the Human Relations Diversity Board meetings. Though I'm not elected, I've been doing a lot of the work of a commissioner. And I've been fielding questions from residents. And I've been contacting city staff and been getting answers for them and being able to give them solid answers. Unfortunately, many of these residents have said to me that when my opponent was the commissioner, they did not feel like they were getting answers. They didn't feel heard. They didn't feel like they were getting follow through. They weren't hearing what they felt like they deserved as the residents of District 4. So I continue to work every day to be prepared as to what I can do to make sure that I'm learning and understanding what I can do. And again, from my background, I have much experience that leads very well into how to be a part of the City Commission and to help continue to be a part of that commission as we drive the City of Ocoee forward. And, talking about being elected to this position, I do think we have to remember that my opponent abandoned the residents of District 4 when he chose to resign his seat to run for mayor. And to the city and city mission and vision, our city mission is to support all citizens in health and prosperity. And our vision is safe roads, low taxes, and places for families to enjoy. Thank you.
Okay, the next question is for both candidates. I'm going to start with Mr. Oliver first. What is your stance on leaving green space throughout Ocoee rather than clearing so many green areas to development, not just for parks, but for green buffer areas like wooded area?
So before I resigned my seat to run for mayor, one of the things that I looked at was talking about a balance between development versus our ecosystem. This is one of the things that I have worked with the county on. I've also looked at the state level. I worked with a state senator and state representative to talk about balancing our ecosystem versus our development. And some of the things that we talked about is how do we come up with a plan? How do we come up with a development plan to say when we're going to develop, for one, how do we look at our ecosystem, our wildlife, and remove a wildlife from areas that we're going to develop. This is one of the things that we don't have. And again, it goes right back to a strategic plan. If we have a strategic plan, we would know how to do these things, as opposed to when we develop in an area and we have no plan for developing the ecosystem and the wildlife and development. There's no plan to actually figure out how we actually going to address them all. We end up with wildlife in our neighborhoods. We end up with raccoons, black bears, and things of other sorts in our neighborhoods, and we wonder how they got there. It's because there was poor planning. We didn't have the plan in place to say, let's remove the wildlife and put them in a wildlife reserve before we start developing. So again, one of the things I work with the county, I've worked at the state level, I've harnessed those relationships as a city commissioner and actually worked on a plan to come up with a system that we can create for our city and our developers to say, this is how we're going to handle the ecosystem, this is how we're going to handle our static water basins, and we're all going to handle the wildlife before we start developing. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a really important question, right? How do we make sure and protect our wildlife, protect our green space? How do we make sure that we're balancing development as well as our natural habitats that we all live within? I think it's so critical that we have these discussions. And honestly, from what I can see, especially from attending a planning and zoning meeting a few times and hearing what is being done, especially as a new development gets ready to be added to Ocoee Vista, there has been major attention focused on how do we protect our wildlife? How do we make sure that wildlife is protected and that those areas are preserved? You know, I get the pleasure of living in Arden Park North. And Arden Park North is such a beautiful community that has a great lake in the middle, and it has a lot of conservation areas that have really been paid attention to make sure that we're allowing for that green space and that we're protecting our wildlife. I even happened to take a walk this morning down to the lake, and the amount of birds that were flying by in the morning is just a part of the character of Ocoee, right? That we have wildlife and that we are protecting our wildlife and that we are making sure that when we get ready to develop, because we do need to develop, we continue to grow, that when we are getting ready to develop, we are making sure that we are taking all the precautions necessary, that we are working with federal wildlife control when we are needing to, when we have protected animals that need that protection from a wildlife standpoint. We need to continue what we've been doing. Let's continue to make Ocoee even greater as we continue to develop in a smart way and continue to protect our wildlife and allow for those green spaces. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. And this is a question for you, Mr. Robertson. Please tell us why you have decided to run for local politics.
Thank you so much. There's a lot of things I could say about why I have decided to run in local politics. I'll take you back to when I was a child. When I was a young child, I always knew that I would be a part of government service at some point in my life. I didn't know exactly where, when, how, what that would look like. Many years passed, and my wife and I had lived multiple places. I didn't actually tell you all of those, but we moved from South Carolina to Kentucky and then down here into Florida 7 years ago. And I found myself, as we were getting ready to move into what was our first home purchase, which is our home here in Ocoee, found myself thinking that maybe the time was around the corner. And I began to look around at Ocoee. You know, I haven't lived here 10, 20, 30, 40 years like many of you, but I've lived here 4 years, a little over 4 years. We love Ocoee, and we want to continue to see it be a great place. And as I began to look around at what was going on in Ocoee and what was going on in the surrounding areas, I began to see that there was a need for additional voices to be in play when it comes to our government structure. Yes, I did run for a state office a couple of years ago. And after that race, I began to really think about what is so critical about our communities. And one of the things that's so critical to our communities that many times people overlook is the power and the value of municipal government and how municipal government does the things that touch each of us every day. Our traffic, our roads, our sidewalks, our parks, our property taxes, it touches us every day. And so for all of those reasons, and because I do really feel that I was called to run for this seat, I decided 14 months ago, when we thought that this might be a little bit of a shorter race, 14 months ago, I decided to run for this position. Thank you so much.
Next question is for both candidates. I'm going to start with Mr. Oliver. What are your plans to increase safety for children at schools and parks?
That's also a great question. As it stands right now, the City of Ocoee has a great program with our RSO officers and how they interact with the schools. I believe they interact not only with the schools, they interact with the teachers, they also interact with the parents and the kids, so they have great relationships. I believe we can build on that. I believe with more training, more resources being guided toward the current program that we already have, I believe we can actually increase more visibility in that program. Also be able to create programs that will keep kids safe. We talk about active shooter programs, those kind of things. What happens when there's hurricane drills and those things, hurricane drills, fire drills, all those things. I believe if we were to continue to partner with the schools through our RSO program, through the police department, as well as the fire department, we should be able to actually increase safety in our schools. Now, we've had some tragedies over the past few years when it comes to schools, and thank God it has never happened in the City of Ocoee, and I pray that it never happens here in this city. But I do believe that we are prepared as a city, as a police department and a fire department to handle any emergency in our schools. I think that with the relationship that we've fostered with the parents and the kids, I think there's a great line of communications right now that would alert parents that there's something going on at school. It will also alert the teachers and the students as to what to do when they're faced with any type of emergency, particularly like school active shooting drills. So they've really had the opportunity to see that when I worked in the school system for a little while. And I got to see how we interacted right here in Ocoee when it comes to emergency or when it comes to the active shooter drills. And I think they have it very well handled. But with more resources and more funding, I believe we can be even better.
Can you say the question one more time?
What are your plans to increase safety for children at schools and parks?
Great, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I was clear on the question. You know, safety at school and parks is very critical, right? I have two boys, as we talked about earlier. Our community is full of children, and we need to make sure that our safety is paramount to our kids being able to grow up, to enjoy the outdoors. I think, again, that this speaks to the necessity of very strong partnerships with other agencies, very strong partnerships with Orange County Public Schools, very strong partnerships with, our continuing to resource our police and fire departments to make sure that there is strong safety mechanisms in place. I think that it is really important that we think about what is the responsibility of everyone involved in making sure that things continue to stay safe. So I'll reference one thing that kind of leads to traffic, but it also is about safety for kids at parks and school. How are we making sure that our school zones are being monitored when it comes to speed, to make sure that people are not speeding through those zones and making children more vulnerable to accidents? How should we continue to be making sure that our police has all the resources that they need to be as visible as possible, especially during those times when kids are at the most risk, the most amount of play, the most amount of time back and forth to school and to parks? I think that we should look into, are there other mechanisms that we can put in place as a city government that helps to promote safety at our local parks? I love our parks. Our parks are so important, and I would love to see us as a city commission look into more safety mechanisms for the parks. Again, thank you for the question.
Thank you. And here is another question for both of you. Mr. Robinson, I'll check with you first. If elected, would you proactively support inclusivity, and what specifically would you do?
Thank you for the question. It's so important that we consider all of our residents and how they are valued and how that they feel like they have the opportunity to be a productive part of our communities. My Christian faith really mandates that everyone is treated equally and that we make sure that everyone has the same ability to be included into everything happening in our communities and our society. I would love to continue to see the work that the Human Relations Diversity Board is currently doing on making sure that we are including diversity in our city. We have a great program happening right now where each month they're talking about different sectors of our community and diversity. I think that that's important. Continuing to have the varied amount of events that we have that address different groups of our community is also really important. So, diversity is so important. And honestly, that's one of the things I love about Ocoee. Even look around this room, how diverse we are. Look around this city and look at the diversity of the city. I recently looked again at the breakdown of District 4. And, you residents who are here or watching online from District 4, we are an incredibly diverse district with over 50% of our district being non-white. And what an incredible opportunity it is for us to continue to celebrate the diversity that we have and continue to include everyone in activities of the city and how we continue to move our community forward. We're better together. How can we make things stronger and better together? Thanks.
So I think that my opponent is right when it comes to the diversity in our community. Our community is also not only diverse in District 4, but the city as a whole. We have one of the most diverse cities throughout West Orange County. And that makes us unique. That's the one thing I love about this city. I love the people that you meet in the grocery store, the people that you meet in Walmart, the folks that you meet just walking down the street, and they're different from different walks of life. And you have different conversations with them. And then you realize that we're not so much different we're not that much different than each other. We all come from the same place. We all have the same stories to tell. We all have that crazy uncle that comes to the barbecues, and we have it right here in our city here. And I think that our Human Rights and Diversity Board, I think they got it right. I love the direction that they're going in at this moment. And as my opponent mentioned, they have a program where every month they highlight the diversity in our community. And I think that's the right thing to do. I think we need to continue to encourage those things. I love this community. I love what our kids are seeing from Generation Alpha, Generation Bravo, Generation Z, Generation Alpha, Generation Bravo. What they're seeing right now in the city of Ocoee, they're seeing us come together as one Ocoee. And I love that. And I think we need to continue to foster a community of inclusiveness, a community of diversity, a community of equity. So once again, I think that we're on the right track. The city's on the right track. I want to continue to be a part of what we're doing as a city when it comes to diversity. So again, thank you so much for that question.
This question is specifically for Commissioner Oliver. Some residents express concerns about your responsiveness and follow through as commissioner. They would like to know what will be different this time around.
Well, for those citizens that feel that I did not get in contact with them or I was not responsive to their requests, I must apologize. However, I would say probably about 90% of the folks that I have come in contact with that have reached out to me, I reached out to them. I have a very simple plan when it comes to reaching out to the residents or responding to the residents. Residents will send me an email, a text message, or whatever it may be, and it may have an address on it without a phone number. Well, you know what? Sometimes I would send an email back, but I'll go knock on the door just to follow up. There's many residents in District 4 I can tell you that Commissioner Oliver, not only did he follow up, but he came and knocked on my door. And I encourage all the citizens that live in my neighborhood, look, if you can't reach me, come and knock on my door. And guess what? I've had that happen many times. Knocking on my door, telling me about something that's going on throughout the community, something they want me to look into. I have a neighbor, he's about 8 years old. And he's constantly knocking on my door, say, Commissioner Oliver, we have a roadblock down the street down there, and it shouldn't really be there because there's no construction going on throughout the day. My mom and I have to go around. Can you look into that for me? Guess what I do? I contact the city and say, hey, what's going on with this roadblock over there? If they can't tell me, I contact the county. And I'll do what I can for an 8-year-old student. If I can do it for an 8-year-old, I can do it for an 80-year-old. So every student, every citizen is important to me. So I make it my business to make sure I can get back with everyone via email, text message, and if I can't reach you that way, I'll come knock on your door.
Thank you. Mr. Oliver, this question is for you. It seems your aspirations are for higher office. With your recent relinquishing your seat to run for mayor, why haven't you sought election for Orange County Commissioner?
That's a question I've been asked many times. From the time I was the commissioner here in District, from 2018, I've been asked that question. Why don't you run for state office, run for the county? Well, guess what? You know what? I live in Ocoee, Florida. I love Ocoee, Florida. I love everything about Ocoee, Florida. I love the people of Ocoee, Florida. I started my political career here in Ocoee, Florida, and I'm going to finish it right here in Ocoee, Florida. I have no aspirations to run for the county. I have no aspirations to run for the state, or no aspirations to run for any federal office. My aspirations lie right here. My loyalties lie right here in the city of Ocoee, and I'm going to work in the city of Ocoee, whether I'm elected official or not, until the day I die. So I'm right here. Hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Okay, just give us just a few minutes. We're just checking to make sure all the questions have been asked.
Okay, we're back. Next question is for both candidates. Do you support our current CRA funding? Mr. Robinson, you can go first.
That's a very broad question. I would say that, yes, the CRA funding, definitely I support our CRA work that we are continuing to do. And I encourage that we continue to make sure that we are focusing on the areas that need our continued development, especially when it comes to, again, what we've talked about earlier, which is our non-res tax base. We need to be making sure that we're increasing that non-res tax base by making sure that we're attracting great commercial and other opportunities to make sure that we're continuing to increase that amount of commercial tax base that's coming in, as well as, continuing to better our city. So definitely, I would say that I support the efforts that we've been doing on development, and I would encourage, and I look forward to being a part of the commission as we continue to work to develop Ocoee to an even greater city. Thank you.
I sat on the CRA for 5 years, and I saw the development that we were doing in the CRA, was very proud of the things that we were doing there. One of the things that I really would hope for with the CRA is the fact that we could possibly expand it. And I know that it takes an effort through the state to expand our CRA, as I've asked that question of our assistant city manager many times, and we've had that conversation to figure out how could we actually petition the state to be able to expand the CRA. The CRA actually has an expiration date, so and then it actually gets renewed. So we were thinking about when they actually renew it at the expiration date to actually look at expanding the area of the CRA to be able to bring in more partners. I think that the thing that makes our CRA thrive is the actual partnerships that we fostered throughout the community, throughout the businesses in the community. The hospital is one of the great partners of the CRA, and they continue to support that. So I think as a mission or as a vision for the CRA as we move forward, I would look at expanding the CRA, but also bringing in more capital for it and being able to put in more sit-down restaurants as opposed to fast food restaurants, putting some of the things that the citizens want to see throughout the CRA. I believe we do have the room to do it. We have the land mass to do it. And it's just a matter of us putting together a plan to the state to say, how do we do it? How do we actually engage in that? And then start approaching our partners, as well as inviting other partners to the table to say, hey, look at our CRA. We've expanded it, and now we have the opportunity to do so much more. We can create areas where we can have what's called work, live, play areas for young professionals in the CRA with those sit-down restaurants. So again, I support it 100%, and I think that the vision as we move forward, we should be able to expand that and bring more capital into that CRA, into our current CRA.
Thank you. This is also for both of you. Mr. Oliver, I'll start with you. Would you support increasing police department funding?
As I mentioned in my opening statement, we talked about funding for first responders, the police department, fire department, getting them more training, more resources, all the things that they need to keep us safe. I think that it's paramount that our police department have to grow twice as fast as our citizenship. Our citizenship is growing it's growing organically. And again, it goes right back to the plan that I mentioned. If we actually have a plan in place, and now that organic growth can actually be curtailed with the growth of our police department. So again, for every 1,000 citizens that we grow with, we should increase our police department by at least 5%. So again, I believe that we need to look at ways to do that. I don't think we should increase our tax base, but I believe, as my opponent said, we can take a lot of that non-res income coming in, as well as impact fees from our developers to be able to help increase, the numbers in our police department as well as our fire department. That's the way to keep us safe. So again, I definitely support funding the police department. I support the training. I support additional resources that they may need. I also support them having a task force with our county and being able to train with the county as well. So again, the police department and the safety of our community is very important to me.
You know, I think when we talk about our police department, we have to always be considering, do we have the right size of a police department for our residents? Do we have the right, all of the right resources that we need? And we should be making sure that all of those resources are exactly as we need them to be. I think that it would be arbitrary for us to sit up here, for me to sit up here and give a percentage that it should increase based on the amount of residents. I think there needs to be strong analysis done about what does the size of the police department need to increase to as we see continued growth. I want to make sure that our police department is always fully resourced with everything that they need. I also understand that no one commissioner does anything alone, right? It always takes a coalition. You can't even get a motion, to a vote without having a second. So it's important that we work together as commissioners to look at what does the police department need? What are the needs that they have, and how can we continue to make sure that they have all the needs that they need? It is important that our non-res tax base is being used to continue to help fund different things within the city, including the police department, and developers should be paying their fair share. But they should pay more than their fair share. They should pay their fair share for the development that they are creating. I think it's also important to note that even just this week, just last night, right here in this room, the commission advanced to the next step, the police training facility that is going to increase revenue to our city as we work with other partner law enforcement organizations to come and use that facility for training. So yes, the police department is very important. Again, I should thank the PBA for their great endorsement of my candidacy for this election. I have always supported law enforcement. I have many friends who are part of law enforcement, and we should make sure that they have all the resources that they need. Thank you.
This question is for both candidates. Mr. Oliver, I'll start with you. Do you support the Ocoee Music Festival?
I've been to the music festival many times. Over the past, say, 10 years, I've been to the music festival at least 7 of those years, and I've enjoyed it. I think that the residents of the city enjoy the music festival as well. So I've actually sat here in this seat here, and I've actually approved budgeting for the music festival. So every year, I've never voted no to funding the music festival. The only thing I've ever spoke about the music festival is how the money is spent, where does the money come from, and actually how is it budgeted, and actually being more transparent with the financing of the music festival. So I fully support the music festival on the up end, but I also have questions about how it's funded, how the money is spent, and also the transparency of the financing for the music festival. So again, I do support it, yes, but I do think that we also need to have checks and balances in place when it comes to the financial part of the music festival.
Thank you for the question. The Ocoee Music Festival is a great opportunity for our community. Thousands of people come and enjoy the music festival each spring, and I look forward to being at the music festival this year as your commissioner for District 4. I'm excited to be able to be at the music festival. I think that it is very important that we continue that, and I do support it. I think it's interesting, though, if I might go back and kind of some of the things I've seen in the commission meetings of the past when my opponent was on the commission, there were lots of comments and complaints about the music festival. So I think that we should always fact check what both of us are saying up here. I encourage you to fact check me. I encourage you to fact check him, and whether he really has supported the Ocoee Music Festival. There's always a need for transparency. All government should be transparent. We should make sure that that is really important for all of our local governments as well as every other agency. And I'm grateful that we do see transparency here in Ocoee, and I hope that we will continue to see that level of transparency, and even more so as we continue to move our city forward. Again, I have to just remind us, District 4 residents, if my opponent wanted to be so involved in the decisions about the music festival, why did he abandon his seat to run for mayor? And will he abandon us again? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, this is a question for both the candidates, and it is a two-part question. What specifically will you do to get economic improvements or development downtown? And then, would you agree with any additional bonds or loans or debt to taxpayers to accomplish it? Oh, I didn't ask for Nate. That's for you?
Okay, great.
Okay.
So when we talk about economic development downtown, right, that's been a conversation piece, for a long time here in Ocoee. How do we make the downtown stronger, better, more thriving? How do we attract business? I believe that there is a plan in place that we need to continue to execute. We need to finish what we've started. There's been many plans put into place to make sure that the downtown continues to develop and begins to flourish. And like we've talked about multiple times today, we need to work on that, continuing to increase that non-res tax base, which continues to help us make sure that we can continue to do developments throughout Ocoee. I know after some of my meetings with city staff that we have some great developments with our downtown, and it coming quickly, beginning to see new growth happening and new buildings being put up under new construction. So definitely the development of downtown is really important. So the question about bonds and loans, I think that we should be careful about making any kind of arbitrary statements at this point from this position about bonds and loans that the city may need. The city should leverage our incredible bond rating. We should be making sure that we are able to do the development that we need to move Ocoee forward, right? That should be our continued focus. How are we going to move Ocoee forward? And I think that we need to continue to examine how do we do that and make sure that our debt load is correct and that we are not having a debt load that is too high, but that we are making sure that we are able to do the developments that our city needs as we continue to join with West Orange County in our incredible growth. Thank you.
So again, answering that question, I'm going to go back to when I resigned my seat to run for mayor, to actually look at the city as a whole, to not abandon the district, but actually to cover the district in a different way, to be able to have more input into how our city is developing as a whole and not just the district. So again, going in, running for mayor, the vision was to not abandon the district or not to abandon the city, but to actually serve in a capacity that would affect all citizens and not just the citizens in District 4. So when we look at the downtown development, we have a comprehensive plan. And I think it's actually a really good comprehensive plan. But again, our comprehensive plan is just a picture. It's a picture on a piece of paper right now that doesn't have any strategic planning behind it. A comprehensive plan is only as good as the foundation that it's built on. And right now, it has no foundation. So again, I think that we have the ability to do the things that we want to do. We just have to engage it a little differently. We just have to look at it not the same we've always looked at it. We had this comprehensive plan in place for a while now, and yet we are still almost where we still were, with the exception of the City Hall building. So we have to look at how do we look at things a little differently? And that's what I've always been. I've always been a commissioner that looked at things a little differently. Unfortunately, some of my counterparts just didn't see the way things I saw them, but I did have a plan to say, hey, let's build this foundation and let's prop up this comprehensive plan, build this downtown the way it should be built, even though I know it's going to take some time to do it. But I believe that we have the ability to do it. We have the folks in place to do it. Now, as far as any bonds, we already have bonds out there. We have to be careful about how we take on debt. Let's finish one project first. Let's finish two projects first. And let's put a plan in place to actually take on more debt, if need be, to build our downtown the way we need to build it. Thank you.
Thanks. This is going to be the last question, and then we'll have our closing statements. This last question is for both candidates. How will you propose to alleviate traffic on Clark and Silver Star Road when will the expansion be enough?
Okay. That's a great question. That's a question that I talk about almost on a daily basis. Even before I resign my seat to run for mayor in that capacity. We've had that conversation, and while I've been out campaigning in the communities, thus has been a very good question about traffic on Clark Road. Not so much Silver Star, but Clark Road has really been the focal point. I think the current plan that we have in place is a good plan. Although we had some delays with that project, I believe that we're on track right now to actually alleviate a lot of issues with Clark Road. For one, once they finish with one side of Clark Road, we should be able to sustain traffic on one side of it to be able to pave the other side. And I believe we already have funding in place. At least I know in the past 2 years of fiscal budget, we had funding in place to actually pave over Clark Road. So you have one side paved, which actually would not impede upon the traffic. It may be a little bit of a nuisance while we're actually paving that side of the road, but I believe that once it's done, we should be able to change our light timings along with the county. I've spoken with the county on several occasions about light timings from Apopka Island all the way to the 429 and being able to set the timing of those lights so folks can kind of get through at the speed limit without speeding. And again, I believe we have Clark Road the plan for Clark Road is a good plan. I support that plan, and I'm sure that once it is complete, that we would actually have a good plan to move traffic in and out of our city through Clark Road. Silver Star haven't really heard much about being congested, but I do know that we always have to think toward the future. And the future means that organic growth is going to happen, so we have to start planning for the expansion of Silver Star and what are we going to do about Clark Road when we hit 80,000 residents. Maybe not in our district, but the capacity in our district is definitely going to elevate. So we have to be able to plan for that future and plan for it right now.
Again, it's a great question. So again, I thank you, ladies, for the great questions tonight. The Clark Road project is on everybody's mind, right? I mean, I live in Arden Park North. I'm up and down Clark every day. I go to the gym down at Anytime Fitness at West Colonial in Clark. That is an important north-south corridor, right? And it is really important that we continue to work on that corridor and the traffic flow. I'm so excited that project is well underway with completion that should be happening at least by fall, if not late summer. And once that project is completed, there will be some additional, testing of how the traffic flow changes once the project is completed, and then the signaling will be adjusted. But we have to let that settle for a period of time to see how the traffic is going to flow. I've been meeting with city officials to talk about this, with our city staff to talk about this, and how it will obviously directly improve the traffic flow out of Orchard Park and Prairie Lake Village, those critical areas right as you're getting to the north side of Clark Road at Claricona Ocoee Road. We need to continue to make sure that all of our traffic concerns are high priority, because our city is a very growing, bustling city with lots of residents who are in and out every day, lots of students in and out every day. And we need to be focusing on Clark, on Silver Star, on Claricona Ocoee. We need to be focusing on the traffic flow in all of those of our major thoroughfares, as well as working on things like the speed on Hackney Prairie. And how do we continue to work to make sure that we are working on the traffic throughout our city to control speed and to make sure that there's less congestion in each and every part of our city. We can't just arbitrarily make changes to our traffic or just do traffic studies on a whim. There are rules that the city has to go by and that they are governed by to make sure that we're doing those appropriately. Thank you for the question.
The question and answer portion of the forum is now concluded. At this time, we invite each candidate to present their 3-minute final statement. We will start with George Oliver III.
So I want to thank my opponent for engaging us in this forum and engaging us with his almost scripted responses to the questions. But ladies and gentlemen, as this forum comes to a close, I want to take this moment to thank you for your attention as we discuss your thoughtful questions. I believe that this campaign is not about me or my opponent, but about the future of our district and the people who call it home. As your city commissioner, I have seen firsthand the challenges facing our community. I have worked tirelessly to address these issues, and I'm proud of the progress that I've made. But I know that there's still so much more work to be done, and that's why I'm running for re-election. I believe that the people of this city deserve a commissioner who's going to be committed to making their lives better, not more difficult. One who is transparent in his dealings with the city and has experience and expertise to get things done. I am that candidate. My opponent and I have very different visions for the future of this city. I believe that we need to invest in infrastructure, public safety, and economic development, while also addressing the critical issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion. As a commissioner, I will work diligently to improve the lives of our residents. I will work to create jobs and economic opportunities for all, not just for a select few. I will work to ensure that our streets are safe and that our police and fire department have the resources they need to do their jobs. I will work to address the critical issues that are among the greatest challenges facing our city today. I'm not running for re-election and looking for a title. I'm running because I care deeply for this city and its people. And because I have the experience and dedication and the vision to be effective and to be a compassionate leader. So I ask you, the people of this city, to join me in this campaign. Let us work together to build a brighter future for our community, a future that is built on fairness, justice, and opportunity for all. So let's vote George Oliver III for City Commissioner, District 4. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless the City of Ocoee.
Mr. Nate Robinson.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for the opportunity tonight to speak to you, the voters. And thank you to the over 300 residents who've already voted due to early voting and vote by mail. Also, I want to make sure and thank Vox Populi for their incredible endorsement of my campaign. You know, my opponent seems to think that preparation for tonight is negative. My answers aren't scripted, but I have prepared. The choice before you tonight is clear. If you vote for my opponent, you will get more of the same. You'll get more non-responsiveness, more of no follow-through. And some, even within city staff, have called some of his activity while he was a city commission an egregious breach of public trust and misuse of funds. I encourage you to fact-check the progress that he speaks of. Remember that George Oliver abandoned the residents of District 4 when he decided to run for mayor. What makes us think he won't do it again? If you vote for me, you will get a fresh new voice of leadership to represent you, the residents of District 4. I'm your neighbor, and I want to be a servant leader to represent you well. District 4 deserves strong representation that listens, acknowledges, and acts on behalf of residents. We deserve a commissioner who will stay fully aware of the issues that will come before the commission and educate himself about them and work with city staff to build a better future for everyone in Ocoee. Over the last year, as I have told you, I've been learning what it is like to be a commissioner. I've been to about 70% of city commission meetings, attended planning and zoning meetings, and the HRDB meeting. Though I am not yet elected, I have been doing more of what a commissioner does in this role than my opponent did during the time that he was commissioner. I've met with city staff regarding current and future projects to become more aware of the issues that may come before me over the next year. I am fully prepared to represent the residents of District 4 well once I am sworn in on April 2nd. I have been in City Hall sometimes multiple times a week to meet with someone and learn more about what the city does. I have fielded questions from residents and gotten answers from departments within the city to provide back to them. I've given my personal cell phone number to every resident in the district. I'm ready to answer those calls, obviously during normal business hours, hopefully not at 3 o'clock in the morning. But again, I am Nate Robertson. I am your neighbor next door, and I look expectantly to serving as your next city commissioner for District 4. Thank you.
This concludes tonight's forum. On behalf of the Women's Club, we wish to thank the candidates for their participation, the citizens for their questions, and the City of Ocoee for their usual and utmost cooperation, allowing the Women's Club to conduct this political forum in the city chambers. We also want to thank the City Clerk's Office and the Community Relations Department and the IT Department for coordination of all the little details that make this event a success, and affording the Women's Club the opportunity to help our community make an informed choice in the leadership of our city. I would like to thank all of the women members to have come out. Now take a bow. Thank you and have a good evening.